Courtney. I'm Dr. Leah.
This is Dr. Sylvia.
And we are
Three Friends Talk.
G. Energy.
Oh,
Energy.
I love it.
Just five. From the 45. Don't get out of
We're back, y'all.
Yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Pick a side.
this season 4. We made it.
Lotion. We made it. Sorry for the technical difficulties, y'all. But the devil meant for bad, Jesus meant for good.
They're not going to hold us back. Technical
No.
difficulties, whatever the case may be. Three Friends Talk is coming back for season 4. And as you can see, we have 2 out of 3 tonight. We're holding it down. I'm Dr. Courtney. We have Dr. Sylvia, and we're holding it down for Dr. Leah. And she is actually
Recovering.
in recovery because we just came back from an awesome weekend, and we're going to tell you all about it. But we haven't been here for a while, you guys. It's been a couple of months, so we want to get you guys caught up on what we've been doing since we last saw you, and talk about our amazing weekend and what we have in store for season 4. So, Dr. Sylvia, what you been doing? Tell the people.
First of all, I know we have some new friends. Social media has been crazy. Thank y'all for supporting Three Friends Talk. But we are 3 pharmacists and we love what we do. We all work in non-traditional roles and we are passionate about taking the scare out of healthcare and having conversations about health, making them with our friends that are fun. So we want you to be comfortable when you go into the doctor's office. And that's what we aim to do with our show. We interview various pharmacists. Shout out to Pharmacist Month and other healthcare professionals. And we want to hear from you. Who do y'all want to see on the show? What do y'all want to know more about? So I just wanted to put that out there first. What'd you ask me, Dr. Courtney?
I was asking you, what have you been up to since we last spoke to our super friends out there?
Well, I won't go too deep into it because we talked about it during our last show, which was live. So, what I will say is I'm happy to be in this space, in this place, even though I had technical difficulties. It's been a storm and I feel like I'm finally getting back to myself and enjoying the things that I usually like to do. So I'm happy to be here. When we post the 100th episode, you can find out everything I've been up to since we were last together. But how about you, Dr. Courtney?
Absolutely. It's been a very busy summer, We all traveled a lot. We celebrated our birthdays, which you talk about on our 100th episode. And I'm just really excited to come back for season 4 in the month of October, because traditionally we start our season in October. Dr. Sylvia, you mentioned that it's still Pharmacist Month, National Pharmacist Month. So yesterday was actually, this is Pharmacist Week within Pharmacist Month, right? So it's even more concentrated, all the celebratory things that we do. And yesterday was Pharmacy Technician Day. So every day is a little something different for pharmacists. I know in my department,
I thought it was today.
No, it's yesterday, the 18th. It was yesterday.
Oh, my bad.
So we celebrated. I was able to, I have like 200 techs. I was able to get them, all kind of little goodies sent out. They're all over the country, so I had to get people, get it mailed out to them. But it's just a lot to celebrate our profession, and I'm really excited about what we're doing, because now we're taking it beyond the counter, right? We work in non-traditional roles, and so for those who want to know more about pharmacy, it's this platform that we can share that information as well. Next week is like our spirit week, so I don't know if everybody does that, but we'll have a little bit of fun at work next week. But other than that, yeah, so now we're back, and for season 4, you did share a surprise at the end of our show last week. So do we get to share with everyone what we're doing new?
It's still a
Not yet.
secret. Make sure you're subscribed to our newsletter so that you'll be the first to know if you weren't at the live show, you know. But it's a great surprise. So yeah, go to threefriendstalk.com, sign up for our newsletter, or go to our social media, Instagram, and sign up for our newsletter so you will be in the know because we're excited about that. Now, can we get into this 100th episode, Dr. Courtney?
I'm ready. So
So we had the chocolate
go
brunch in
first. Oh,
Dallas.
okay.
Then we took it to Atlanta and had the
Mhm.
chocolate brunch after dark. And then we took it to the M. That's why Dr. Leah is still recovering. We just left her city and we had the chocolate happy hour, y'all. And it was a whole vibe.
But
I
it
know.
wasn't just the day. Do we get to talk about the whole weekend, Sylvia?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I feel like I lived a whole 14 days in a
In
matter of
two
a weekend.
days. In 2
Yes,
days.
yes, yes, yes. We
It
did
was a
so much.
lifetime in 2 days.
You start.
Okay, well, I know you got there before me, right?
Okay,
So
so yeah.
yeah,
I
you
got in
start.
on Thursday and I flew in on a crop duster.
A what, ma'am?
Well, it was a small plane. Shout out to Southern Airlines. It was like a 10
I'm
seater
scared of
plane,
those.
10 people. We flew from
But you
Dallas to
feel all the
Memphis.
turbulence, don't you?
Well, I was seated in the middle on both of my
Oh,
flights. So no. And they're like, oh, we'll give you your seat assignments when we get to the plane. And they're like, you seat 6, you seat 2. And I was like, what am I doing? Because I've
you
never
had to
flown it
hold your bag
before.
in your lap.
Put it on the floor. But yeah, there's no headrest, there's no nothing. But I enjoyed it, quite frankly.
How long was that flight?
I had two. We flew from Dallas to Arkansas, and then we flew from El Dorado. Don't hate me if I
Oh,
get it wrong. And then we flew from there to Memphis. So, you know, like
oh,
an hour and
okay.
a half
Just like
each.
that. Mm-hmm.
And then I went to BB King's that first day
You have to.
and Bill
Mhm.
Street, and I haven't been there since I think right out of college, like maybe '06, '07. We went there to Bill Street. I've been to Memphis since then. And then
Before I saw it, I thought it was Bill Street, Bill, until I was, really corrected and shamed.
you don't remember that movie? It was something on
No,
Bill
I
Street.
didn't. I didn't put two and two together.
Oh,
Forgive
okay.
me, but
Okay.
I was,
Well, now you
sadly
know.
thinking,
The
yeah.
more you know. They had two great live bands, so that was really cool. Had a great time. And then Friday, it was go time. We were stuffing.
Mhm.
You came in, so I'll let you take over.
Okay, am I glitching? There goes that technical difficulty. Did you see it?
Barely.
No worries. Don't worry about it. Then we'll keep it moving. So I came in on Friday and I didn't realize the flights from Atlanta to Memphis, I don't know why they're extremely high, but it was thank you, Dr. Leah, Beale Street. Uh-huh. So um I had a lot of lessons learned that weekend, but I will say that I decided to ride in on the trusty megabus from Atlanta to Memphis. But I enjoyed the ride. It was hardly anybody on the bus. I don't think anybody takes megabus anymore, but it was great for me. It was a nice, quiet 6 hour ride. I was relaxed. Oh, okay. So anyway, I got
And
to
you made
Memphis.
friends. And you made friends, right?
And it was two nice little old ladies on there, and they needed my help and assistance. It was like being on the bus with my mama. She was just like, "How you work this? How you work that?" It was great. So I made some friends on the bus. But we got to Memphis, and I was picked up by my girls, Dr. Leah, and Dr. Sylvia, and we decided that we were going to go have a bite to eat. And we stopped to have our rehearsal of the show at the Mexican restaurant. So we're up there drinking our margaritas. We must be the loudest ones in there. It was about the end of the night, so it was really quiet. So we had the place to ourselves, and we hadn't seen each other in a while. So when the three of us get together,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of laughs and kikis and going through this show, just really excited about what we've done. Like, y'all, can y'all believe that we started out 3 years ago in Cabo and look at where we are now? So we finally made it through the rehearsal of the show with all of that, um, reminiscing and stuff like that. So we got out of there. We went to the room, and here's where the ritual starts, you guys. We have to put our swag bags together for our guests. So when we did it, we went to Dallas, we had a whole team with us. I mean, it was our first one. We had a lot of people helping us, like 60, 70 bags, right? And we have so many super friends that help too, and which is going to lead us into our guests tonight. But we have so
Hey.
many super friends that like to contribute to our cause and what we're trying to do, and really showcase what they have in store as well. And we want to be able to share that with our Three Friends Talk friends. So we had about 60 or so bags for Atlanta. We stuffed all of those like the night before, so no different. We were in Memphis and we stayed up, I don't know, to the wee hours of the morning. Granted, I got in at 8 o'clock. We ate and drank at the restaurant. Then we still had to go stuff bags. So we stuffed those bags. And I think in the midst of all of it, we had photo shoot the next morning. So we got to bed, what about two or
Two
three?
something, two something.
Oh my gosh. Then we had to get right back up because we had makeup at 7. But we had to get up and pack the cars. So we got up at like 5 in the morning. So we're on 3 hours of sleep as it is. So we've had a full day, 2 a.m. Yeah, something like that. We had to get back up at 5. So we had to pack the car with all the swag bags from the hotel. Let's not forget how Three Friends Talk, we had a little bit of a disagreement.
Oh, I didn't know you was getting into that.
Well, I got in trouble. Just know I got in trouble.
I got in trouble too
So Dr.
because of
Leah
you.
kind of went off on me and Sylvia that night. It had been a long day. But this is why we're vulnerable and we tell you guys that we are truly friends. We will. Y'all look at the chat. Leah was through with our shenanigans by the end of the night. She was like, I am
I didn't do
tired. It's
nothing.
been a
I
day.
just got
I
in
need a
trouble
break
because
for
of
y'all
you.
from like 30 days. And me and Sylvia looking like, geez,
I said, okay,
please.
I believe in breaks. So I said, okay. But I
I
was
was
trying to
just
figure
like,
out why she was mad at me because
I was
it
like,
was you.
okay, Leah. So I was the one that my delivery was a bit off, I will say. And I apologized and she was like, I don't love you yet. I just don't love you yet. Okay. So I was like, I accept that and I receive it. I'm going back to my corner and stuff these bags. So but we're truly friends. We're going to argue like sisters, we're like family, and we're going to make up and keep this thing going. That's just how long we've been friends, like 20 plus years here. So we're not going anywhere.
But I
The
was
next
nervous.
day,
I will say I
yeah,
was nervous because it's usually Dr. Courtney and me getting into
we
it.
usually get into it. And Leah
And
is the peacemaker.
so for the peacemaker to get mad, and I was
We
like,
knew we
uh-oh,
effed up.
uh-oh, uh-oh, Sophia, like, I was like,
I was like, how do we
I
get
don't
back
know.
from this? When I tell you, even the next morning, we got up quiet AF. Okay. We was like, we ain't saying nothing. I'm not getting in trouble no more this weekend. We got to get to this show. So, and we can't let nobody tell, right? That we done had a little spat. So anyway, next morning we get up, we pack in the car. Leah is driving. We real quiet in the van. So
We were still, we were still sleepy too.
yeah, 3 hours of sleep was okay. So we get to the makeup artist. She was wonderful. Dr. Lee, you're gonna have to put her information in the chat. She beat our faces, what they said, to the gods. And so it just so happened Dr. Leah, she went first because she had to continue to run errands. Dr. Leah went first and she left us at the house. Now we're in an area of Memphis called Whitehaven. I don't know. We stayed in a hotel in Mississippi. We crossed over real quick to Whitehaven and stayed there. And I didn't know, it looked a really nice middle class neighborhood. But I know that somebody said it was like Pooh Shiesty's neighborhood.
What they say,
What is it?
the
Why is
name of
that
the
a reference
street,
to something?
Killville or something.
I don't
Kill.
know.
She
So
said
I guess
something.
we were in a rough neighborhood. We had no idea, but we found
Yeah,
out that day
baby.
when
So
we
I
had
had
our
my
makeup
contacts on,
done.
so I had my contacts on, so I could see real good. And she was finishing up my makeup, and I just saw police cars. One went that
Shoo,
way, one turned in front of the house. Next
shoo,
thing, yeah, I was like,
boom.
oh, something is going on. And she was doing my makeup, and so she didn't see. And then
but
she
I'm
turned
looking out the
around, another
window.
cop car.
But
Huh?
she's explaining to us that we're like in a circle. So it's like one way in, one way out.
Yeah,
You
that's what
know,
she said.
there's if you coming in this neighborhood, then you live here or know somebody. If police and you ain't got no
Killbridge.
business
Yeah.
being in this neighborhood. So at
So
this
next
point,
thing we
it's
know,
me, Sylvia, and
somebody
the makeup
comes
artist
trotting
in the
from
window
behind.
and in the door of what's going on. But they not just in cars, they are on foot. They didn't hopped
Yes.
out the cars, running in between yards and how we really like,
I need a little stick
oh my
figure.
God, what is do I need to duck down?
The
What is
cop
happening?
ran from the backyard to the front of the yard. I said, "Oh my god, oh my god, we
We're
just
in a
getting on."
I pulled out the camera at that point, like we about to see something go down. And I wanted to know, do we need to get on the ground? What do I do in this situation?
And our makeup artist, she just was like,
But she was
this is
so
something going."
chill.
She was chill, and Leah was too. We'll
They
get to
had a
that,
couple, they
but
had the family outside and the baby was still running in the yard. And we were like,
yeah, we were like,
get in
"Get
the
the
house,
baby,
get in
get
the house.
the baby."
The
But
guns were
yeah,
drawn. The police had the guns drawn. Okay.
yeah. So then another cop car pulls up right in front of the house, and Dr. Cordy's recording at this point. And so
Go check out my Instagram.
your page is private. We'll have to post it to our
Okay, I'll
page.
post it.
Dr. Cordy is shady, y'all. She don't be posting stuff to the Three Friends Talk page. But anyway, um, so he pulls up right in front of her
Right
house.
in front of
By this
us.
time, the makeup artist is outside. We're right behind the screen door. Dr.
The
Cordy's
glass door,
recording.
yeah.
He gets out and he says, "Can I go in your backyard?" She said, "You sure can, or be my
Go
guest, or
right
whatever.
ahead.
Go right
And I'm
ahead." That's what
thinking
she
like
said.
this my house now. And I'm like, you coming in our yard? What is
I was like, "We don't live here, Dr. Cordy." Next thing you know, he's trotting through. He got black gloves on,
with
and
his gun
it was
just out?
quick with it. Yeah. Next thing you know, he had his gun out, and we were like, and Dr. Corny says, "Who are you looking for, sir? Sir, who are you looking for?" Like,
I forgot. I
she
blacked
got
out.
real serious, and we were just in shock and awe. So then here comes Leah, and she said, "What happened?"
She's
But she
pulling up
wasn't.
in the van and she's
Yeah,
like, what's going on? Y'all,
she
come
wasn't.
on, we
She
gotta
wasn't.
go.
She wasn't. She wasn't phased
She
though. She was like,
wasn't
"Come on."
phased.
We were like, "This
Leah,
ain't never."
Sylvia, give our look of how we look. That's exactly how it looked.
We're like, "Welcome to Memphis, honey." But they were
I was
so
like,
chill. So I was
it's
trying
still,
not to
but
be
guess what? It's still 9 o'clock in the morning. We had
that
had no
part.
breakfast, no
That
coffee.
part.
Faces look great, and we was like, it's time to go home. It's time to go home.
Well, I wasn't thinking that, but I was just shocked. I was trying to
Until
be
Leah
cool.
said, get y'all asses in the car.
The makeup artist was so chill, so I was trying not to be like, "Oh my god." I was trying to keep it cool, so she
No, well,
wouldn't
I
be
didn't
like.
in all dramatic order. I'm going through the woman house like it's my house. And Sylvia was like,
I know we
we
were
don't
trying
live here.
because you can see him in the back, and so we were trying to go look at the back and then come
You
back up
pulling me
here.
back like
But
you don't
I
live
felt
here.
like, you know how the dogs know not to go in the kitchen. That's how we were at the
We were
threshold.
standing at the
Like,
threshold.
yes, speaking of. Anyway, it was a mess. I want to
Oh
know
my
what
goodness.
happened. Dr. Leo has to give us the update. But yeah, that's how
Okay.
we started our morning. Adrenaline
Yeah.
is pumping now. So we're awake.
Energized. There's all the sleep because we were falling asleep like during the makeup. That's how tired we were. But all of that had gone away. We hopped in the car with Leah. Here comes the monsoon. It starts raining after that. As soon as we left the house with all the Whitehaven or Blackhaven, whoever said it in the chat, the
Jailbreak.
rain comes down. A whole tsunami hits Memphis. And we're like, what about the show? Like, people are not going to show up and da, da, da. And we had a photo shoot. We went to a really nice, Leah, please put it in the chat. What was the building that you had us at? Because this place had all the shops,
Concourse, Crosstown
the
Concourse.
art. They had a
It used to
school
be
in the
the old
building.
Sears building. It was an old Sears building in Memphis, and they made it like
They
a
had a
whole
radio
concourse.
station in there where you could see the DJ playing the music live from the window.
It's real nice.
Really beautiful.
It's a mixed use development.
Crosstown Concourse. It was beautiful. So then we went in, and our photographer, shout out to Wiley Brown, he was there and he put up with the three of us with our photo shoot. We had to quickly change. We did some beautiful looks. I hope you guys enjoyed them throughout season 4 as we post them. And then that usually takes up a couple of hours because dealing with 3 divas. to get through that. It was showtime. Like soon as we were running, cutting it close to where Wiley was like, "Hey, I got to wrap it up," because he was also our AV guy. He's got to go set up for the show. You guys got to go get ready. So it was go time at that point. And when I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, the rain stopped. It was beautiful. The people showed up and showed out in Memphis, and we had a sold out show. It was standing room only. You hear me? Standing room only.
Well, shout out
So
to God because I said a prayer and asked for the rain to stop, and He stopped the rain. So just want to acknowledge that. You the
thank you,
one.
big Jesus. Thank
You
you.
the one. You the one. Um, yeah, the show was awesome. We had a really good. We always have good vendors, but the turn up was so real.
The
Shout out.
DJ Styles, he really was on the ones and twos and brought a little New Orleans flavor to Memphis. I mean, kept me on the dance
Yes.
floor.
How many times did you bend over, Dr. Courtney?
I mean, he kept playing bounce music. So you proceed as you should. Every time the bounce music, every time that beat drop, you assume the position.
That was
Please.
my frat brother. He did his thing. And I felt bad. At the end, he asked for our autographs. And I was like, me? If I
I
just
was
signed,
like, where do I sign?
I just signed my name. And then I saw y'all. Y'all were like, thank you so much. Whereas I'm signing it like I'm signing a script. I felt bad that I didn't leave
Ma'am,
him a
you
little
better get
note.
used to signing your autograph. They're gonna pay us one day for this autograph.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yes.
But the show was great. We had a wonderful guest, Dariana, Dr. Dariana. She shared a very candid story about some of her trials and tribulations in pharmacy, and the room was riveted. Dr. Jamie was in the house. She said, "We are big
Thank you.
mad." She said, "We are big mad." The room was like still when she was telling her story. So we can't wait to share that with you all
Very
because it's
inspiring story.
very inspiring story and it's pertinent for everybody. So can't wait to share that. It always takes us a little while to get our visuals back. So,
Hmm.
but we'll get it up sooner than later. And I know we haven't showed y'all the Atlanta live event, but that is coming soon. It just took us a while to get the visuals back, and that's out of our control. So sorry, but
Yeah.
that will be posted soon.
And
And
real quick, I do want to say thank you to all the sponsors, all the vendors,
mhm.
everyone who supported us. I want to shout out to Dr. Jarrett because she came through with the Honey Envy giveaways. Every time you come to a Three Friends live event, we're constantly giving out gifts. And Dr. Jarrett with her Honey Envy line, beautiful hair product line, was able to donate a lot of those gifts. And I hope that you all enjoy them. So go to honeyenvy.com to check out her hairline, her hair product line. As you
Yes,
can see, I use it and I have my hair naturally blown out today and it's long and
beautiful,
luscious.
baby. I love
All of
her
this.
products as well. And also
Yeah.
shout out to Lululemon. They gave us two $150
Lululemon.
gift cards. Lululemon.
Hmm.
They gave us two
That's what I said.
$150 gift cards as door prizes as well. We had some amazing sponsors. I want to shout out Dr. Leah. She did her thing with getting sponsors.
Hands
And
down.
I'm so
Hands
proud of
down.
her because that's outside of her comfort
Moment of
zone.
silence.
No, she's not dead. It's outside of her comfort zone, and she really did that. We had several sponsors. I'm not going to list them now because I don't want to miss any of them, but they're on our social media. And then when we play the 100th episode, you'll see them there. We had Xavier Rights. We had
Homecoming coming up 2 weeks.
Memphonians, I don't know, people from Memphis. It was just the vibe. And
Memphians.
also
Memphians.
Memphians also, and then we can go on to talk about our guests.
Yes.
Before we picked you up, Dr. Courtney, Dr. Leah took me by Champions Pharmacy, and oh my
yeah.
gosh, it took me back to pharmacy school. When we went to visit the pharmacy museum, like first year pharmacy school, like that's what it felt like. A man came in behind us. He says, "Yeah, I have a 6-year-old that's got a cough." And she said, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna mix something up for you. Now, is he having any other symptoms? You want me to add vinegar for the runny nose?" I said, "Oh my God, this
is
is
what we used
what."
to do in school.
Yes,
It's great.
yes,
It's
it
like
felt
down
like.
to our core.
Yes,
Gave me
exactly. And so
chills.
it was so
Like,
energizing
look, where's my
and
white coat? Let me mix something up for y'all. This is
put
great.
we want to make sure it's a clean environment, sterile environment, you know,
I
made
swear,
for
y'all, my friend
compounding.
Dr. Sylvia is so shady.
I mean, you in the spa. You got,
I
oils.
am very zen tonight, as you can see. I'm
Well, I'm
starting
in the
season 4
office.
off
I
with
still
my
have work to do.
self-care. Okay.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, to that end, what were you saying about the swag bags and our guest tonight?
So, one of my favorite items that we put in our swag bag, not once, not twice, but 3 times for each and every show, has been the wonderful scent of this candle that we put in there. And we've had different flavors. And for the chocolate brunch, it was like a chocolate candle. I think we did the same one for, there it is, you guys, show it up close. And I will say, I mean, it's just so custom and special and near and dear to us. And I just want to tell you a little bit about our super friend who has been super supportive from day one. That's the second candle, you guys. And here is the one from this event. I will show it up close, from the Chocolate Happy Hour.
Woo
And she puts
woo.
this special touch on there for us. It came in our pretty packaging. I just, I don't want to get emotional about it, but I'll tell you a little bit about her. She is my sorority sister. When I first moved to Atlanta back in 2004, and this was the year before Katrina. So I just graduated. I literally moved to Atlanta like 2 days after graduation. And I didn't know anybody in Georgia except the people I work with. And my husband, boyfriend at the time, had moved to Atlanta as well. So it was a very, very small group of people that I knew. And typically, as a sorority girl, Delta Sigma Theta, if I'm going to a new area, I usually reach out to my local chapter first to get involved. And that's how you get to know people, right? Before I could even do that, I was at the club. Let's just say I went out one night
Oh,
and
priorities, honey. Priorities.
hello, look, you got the self-care, you got the wind down from the work week. So this was years ago in Atlanta, and this was Visions nightclub. If you guys in Atlanta 20 years ago remember Visions nightclub, I was at Visions, and I don't know who was, it must have been the Snoop Dogg songs. All of a sudden I heard the oop, and I don't know if I was saying it and she heard me, or if she was saying it and I heard her, but it just so happened we connected right there with that oop call. And she was like, I'm with Henry County. It was Henry County alumni chapter. You have got to come out and come, join our group, because I told her I was on the south side. Ever since then, she and I, because you're going to click with some people and you might not. And that's in any sisterhood. You're going to really get close to some people. And she has been a ride or die from day one, not just for me, but she is supportive of everybody. I'm like, how do you do it? How are you in 2-3 places at one time? And she has been the same super supportive person from the first day I've met her. And I love her to death. And I will continue to support her. And she has come through like none other. Her business is booming. So I'm going to do everything. Three Friends Talk is ride or die for none other than Schnese Williams. And I want to bring her onto the Three Friends Talk platform tonight to share her story so that you guys can support our super friend as well. So
Denise
tonight we want to
Williams.
welcome Schnese. Come on in.
Denise
Come on in.
Williams, a 6 Cents candle shop. Woo, 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 woo.
Welcome, Schnese.
Courtney, why am I about to cry?
Don't cry. But you remember that night, don't you?
I do. I do. Very, like, to add on. Yes. I remember I had on this like lame outfit. I thought I was cute. I thought I was cute. But I just remember it was the Snoop Dogg song. And we were like, oh, we were open. And I'm like,
who is that?
And so I kind of like start scooting towards. I'm like, oh, she's like, oh, I'm like, we kind of scooting. And then next thing you know, we bump into each other. And I think we might have hugged and was like, hey, da, 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 and all the things she said, like, you need to come to my chapter. So, and I think at that time, Henry County was getting ready for that step show. And,
oh my gosh.
It was right around that same time, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm on the step team, but I think at the time I was travel nursing too, so I never was able to go to all of the practice. But of course, she stayed. She ended up being on the step team, and
anything with dance or step. I don't know why people know to bring me in on this, but I stepped and we won first place that year.
First place. And it was, when I tell you, it was an amazing step show. Amazing. But anyway,
Yeah.
so that, yes, how we met, we was at Visions nightclub. I hate that it went away the way that
It
it
was like the
did.
best times.
It
How did
was
it go away? What's that tea?
Oh, they
I,
got
I
condos there now. I mean, who knows?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
gentrification.
There you go.
yeah. It,
But it
that
was,
that was fun. It
I
was
will
a fun
say,
night.
Shanice, for us to be been friends, it was just divine intervention that we met that night
Right.
because you made my journey to Atlanta like, it was like family welcoming me. And I just really appreciate
Yeah.
you. And even though you're not living here in Atlanta, to say I was just in Houston and I knew I could call you up to say,
Right.
Shanice, I'm in town.
Right.
Anytime you come to Atlanta, it's like, when can we meet up? And our schedules are so busy. So I just want to thank you for being such a great friend to everybody that you touch. I hear that, just all the time. And when it's time to travel and you say, hey, we going on this trip, how can I get on that girls trip? That's what I
Right.
need to do.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's
I'll
just
be
a great
ready.
time with you.
I'll be ready to
So
go.
so tell us, I usually play a game, with our friends. I want to actually I'm not going to subject you to that tonight because I know we've talked so much about the show. I want to be able to get in your journey
Mm-hmm.
tonight. So before we start talking about your business, though, you're also a healthcare professional. So I
Yes.
want you to be able to tell our friends that are listening, you know, why the healthcare profession, and tell us about your journey to being a nurse practitioner. So,
So I I was raised in a single family home, a single parent home. My mom worked in the hospital. She was she was not a nurse. She wasn't an MA or anything. She was actually in housekeeping.
mhm,
And I had a child at an early age. I was 16 when I got pregnant with my first child, and 17 when I had her. And of course, I delivered at the hospital my mama worked at, because
mhm,
it was a small town, well, big city in Georgia, but small.
mhm,
Everybody knew everybody. Columbus, Georgia. And so when I had her, my mom, she was working one day. She came, she made sure she cleaned my room. And I'm like, Mom, really? Like, she brought me all of the extra diapers. I got the free stuff because I worked in the hospital. So it didn't matter, what level she was on in that hospital. But it was a lady that had come up to me, and she was like, your mom is an amazing woman. Like, she's amazing. And it was like the nurses that I had at 17 years old in the hospital, they were some of the ones who kind of made me want to be a nurse. I knew I always wanted to help people.
mhm.
I've always been like this passionate person with just
For people,
for
goodness,
people, right? For
so
people.
supportive.
And all the time. And I feel like I got some of that from my mom. So
Mhm,
to make a long story short, when I was in the hospital, I just had so many amazing nurses. And I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and be a nurse. My I think it was my senior year. It was either my junior. No, I was a junior when I had her. So my senior year of high school, I took this class called health communications, or health something. I don't
mhm,
remember, that was some years ago. Okay. I've been out of school for about 23, 24 years. But I took that class, and even my teacher, she was an amazing lady. I cannot remember her name, but I remember exactly what she looked like. Um, and she told me, she was like, you are gonna be an amazing healthcare provider, whatever you decide to be. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a nurse. I'm gonna be a nurse.
mhm.
And so I ended up, I wanted to go to FAMU. I will say
Okay.
that I wanted to go to FAMU, but because I had my daughter, I had to, of course, stay in the area. So I went to Columbus State University in Columbus, Georgia, which has an amazing healthcare not nurse practitioner, nursing program. And, I did fairly well,
Mhm,
met some of my best friends, pledged there, everything. Um, so I got my nursing degree from there. I worked in I initially worked in this place. I ain't gonna call out all the hospitals, but I worked with adults initially. I was like, I do not want to work with adults. Like, I just don't want to work with adults.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up transferring to the hospital that my mom worked at because I
Mm-hmm.
was at another hospital
Wow,
in
that was full
Georgia.
circle.
Yeah,
Right. So
truly.
I transferred to the hospital that my mom worked at. And so I was at work one day. I had just won. We had this program called Star of the Month. I had just won Star of the Month. It was my first time. And this lady walked by and she said she had worked at the hospital for an extended period of time. So she knew my mama. And again, like I said, my mom was in housekeeping. So I'm like, okay, not that it was a bad thing, but I was just like, okay, why is this lady talking to me about my mom? And I just won Star of the Month. Like, shoot, this my time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the lady said, she said, regardless to you winning Star of the Month, she said, you got some big shoes to fill. And
Wow.
Boom,
I said, excuse
boom.
me? She said, you have some big shoes to fill. She said, your mother may be in housekeeping, but your mother is amazing. She is one of the most known housekeepers around here. The patients love her, the families love her, the CEOs love her. Now, mind you, my mama had just won like housekeeper of the year. She had got this big old
Okay,
gift
you'll
certificate.
start
And
a
I'm
month
like,
of the year. Okay.
I'm going to start a month for this nursing, for the pediatric unit or whatever. But she told me, she said, you you have some big shoes to fill. So when they told me that, that stuck with me. I thought about, I said, my mom was a single mom. She worked two jobs, to raise my sister and I. And then, I was able to get through school because of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Remind you, I had a child at 17. So when I was in college, my mother took care of my daughter pretty much while
Mm-hmm.
I was in school. So she allowed me to have that college experience that some people don't get to have. Like,
Sure.
you gotta, you go to school and you got your child with you. I
Mm-hmm.
was able to date. I was able to stay at my little boyfriend house. He lived on
She.
campus. I didn't live on campus. Me and my daughter, we done went and took over his whole dorm room. So,
Uh-huh.
after that moment, I said, I'm gonna do what my mom did, and I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
more, not better than her, but I'm gonna do more. I want to live the I want to do the things that my mom wasn't able to do because she didn't have the finances. But
Mm-hmm.
I always saw my mom giving back. I always saw my mom. She was always like making wreaths and stuff for people and giving like all of these gifts all of the time. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be like that. I'm gonna be my mom, but I want to be my mom
To
times
the
1,000.
10th power. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So, that's how I got in nursing. And then um I was probably 20 while I was working in that hospital on a pediatric unit. I had this home girl. I called her my white best friend because she was a white girl. We was down like four flat tires. She was like, girl, you need to come with me to school. And I was like, come with you to school to do what? She was like, I'm
Uh-huh.
going to get my acute care pediatric nurse practitioner. And I said, oh, what? She said, I'm getting my acute care pediatric nurse practitioner.
Was
I was
this in
like,
Georgia?
okay.
Was she saying this with the Columbus, Georgia accent?
Right, right.
Okay.
In
Mm-hmm.
Columbus, Georgia, white girl, blonde
Now
hair, blue
Columbus
eyes.
is good. It's country. Now I haven't
It's
been here a
it's
while, but
straight
it's
up
like
country.
2 hours south of Atlanta or to the
It's it's
west.
it's about an hour
It's
and a
close
half.
to
No,
It's on the border of Alabama.
Phoenix City.
I know
So
that.
Phoenix City, Columbus, right there together. So we straight country, blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm gonna get my pediatric nurse practitioner, and I need you to come with me. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Okay.
So we apply for this program at UAB. We both get accepted. I don't know what happened to her. I think she's still on Facebook. I think she did go back. I think she did finish, but anyway, I started I I think I might have took a year off, but then
Mm-hmm.
I went to this nurse practitioner conference. I was a student nurse practitioner, but I went to a conference even though I had not been in school, right? And then I have this mentor name is Dr. Jean Ivy. She's an older white lady, an
Mm-hmm.
amazing lady. She told me, she said, Shanice, when are you gonna finish? We need you. And it was kind of like that. It was like that same
type of
feeling
message,
that
huh?
I had when the
Mhm,
lady said, "You got some big shoes to fill." So she said,
mhm.
"Why you wasted all this time going to school and then you quit?" Because I think I had went for like a year and a half, and then came. I went and then I sat out a semester, and she was like, "You need to come back." Blah 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 blah. So I ended up going back. When did I graduate? I think I graduated in 2008 with an acute care pediatric nurse practitioner license. I was so nervous because I had not been working in the PICU, even though I
Mhm.
had initially eventually I had transferred to Atlanta and started working at this hospital in Atlanta in the PICU. Thought I was the
Uh-oh.
but I was working there at the time that I finished my acute care pediatric nurse practitioner license.
Mhm.
Um, I was working in an adult facility, and then there was this doctor that I knew from when I was working in the pediatric ICU. I was also working another job as a nurse in the adult part,
Mhm.
and he told me, he said, "I'm going to." I probably don't need to say this, but he said, "I'm gonna give you a prescription for this medication, and I want you to take 2 weeks off of work, and I want you to study for your test, because I think I had flu, but I didn't want to take my test because I was scared. I hadn't not been working. I was working in adults anyway." He gave me the prescription. I started taking that medication. I was like, why can't I sleep? Like, why am I
Oh,
up
I
at
know what he gave you.
I can't sleep. I'm up at night. So I ended up taking my test. I passed my test. So fast forward 2013, 2012. 2012. I
Mhm.
passed my nurse practitioner um boards for acute care. I
Mhm.
started working in the neurology office. I think I worked there for maybe about a year and a half. They ended up laying me off because
Oh,
I went
Lord.
part time. Yeah, I remember the story that the pharmacist was talking about on the live broadcast this weekend, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I know that feeling right there." But they laid me
You
off
talking about from our live show,
on
right?
the live show.
It
Yep.
resonated with you
Oh,
too.
I wanted to. I was like, "Oh, how can I like text a message in this chat real
Uh-huh.
quick, like, because I know what she's talking about." So, but I ended up getting a job in neurology. Loved it. Loved it. They just wasn't paying me enough. So I
Mhm.
ended up going part-time because the drive from the south side of Atlanta to Alpharetta was
Oh,
ridiculous.
every day?
Every single day, 5 days a week. So I
No,
went
ma'am.
part-time. We ended up getting a second nurse practitioner because I was the first one. Then we got a second one. So it was like when I went part-time, they gave me a couple months, and then they was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're making cuts." They gave me a little severance pay, and I was done. So I did a couple of jobs here and there. Um, and then we had a convention here in Houston in 2015. I ended up applying. I just started applying for jobs because I was like, I can't live in my sister's basement and all of this stuff. I'm like, I'm a nurse. I got 2 degrees. I was living in my sister's
That
basement
part.
for about 6 months. Me
Mhm.
and my children, literally, I had I had to send my daughter, so Denaya, my middle daughter, I had to send her to Colleen to stay with her dad. And that killed me because I'm like, I'm her mama. She don't need to be going staying with some other woman taking care of her. And it just, that really bothered me as a mother.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, me and my son and then my oldest daughter, I'm getting a little emotional, but we were staying in my sister's basement for about 5 to 6 months. So I can't do this. I started applying for jobs everywhere.
Mhm.
I ended up getting a call from a hospital here in Texas. Um, I didn't get one call. I got 3 calls. I had 3 interviews. I only took 2, but I got offered 3 interviews. I took 2. I accepted one of the positions, and then that's when I moved to Houston. Um, and so
Wow.
that's kind of my journey to becoming a nurse practitioner and how I ended up in Houston. Um,
That is
yeah,
motivating somebody listening to this story. I must say, Shanice, this is my first time you guys hearing this story. about Shanice's journey. All I know is that she was this great nurse practitioner doing great things, but you see the journey that it took. It was some hills to climb. It was
Right.
some obstacles to bear. What I mean, I can go on and sing the song if you want, but that's Sylvia's job to sing the song. But I will say that I'm inspired by you, Shanice, and for you to go through that and still be the person you are. You get it from your mom being so
Yeah.
supportive the way you are. That's natural for
Yeah.
you. A lot of people do not reach out to friends, let alone be by their side at their beck and call. I mean, I see you in everybody's post. I'm just like, now so and so had a function, and so and so had a function. Shanice had both of them. Wait, what is going? I
How
mean,
you
it's
get there?
amazing. It's like I can barely text everybody and tell them,
Yeah.
about and give them their flowers. You are right there next to them and involved in everybody's life. And I just want to thank you. Go ahead, Sylvia, because I could go on and on
I
about.
know. Can I get in here? I know
Yes.
you got star rise, but I just
Remember.
I just wanted to say thank you, Shanice. You really helped build our confidence. When we were trying to put together the first live show, we were like, are we gonna do it? Or are we not gonna do it? And then finally we were like, yes. And it was just a month out.
Denise wound up being our whole assistant for the first show.
She came up from Houston, y'all. I hate that drive. So she made that drive. She came up. She bought a ticket. She was passing out swag bags, and she gave us our candles. Like, this is our signature thing that will be in our swag bags till the end of
Forever.
time. And you just really believed in us. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I think we can do it. Courtney's friend is gonna do this for us and blah blah blah. So I just want to
Denise
thank
didn't know
you.
that from Jack. She was like, any friend of Courtney is a friend of mine. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Truly. And she's so welcoming, so calm, so cool, and just ready to pitch in. So I'm just so happy to know you. And Dr. Leah said she stepped in with no issues. Truly, she did. And we weren't expecting a branded candle. We just thought we were gonna get a little, what do they
Little
call them?
wick, little wick,
What's
and
the
little
little,
wax,
the
little wick,
little
and
ones
little
that you
wax.
put
It's more than a
by the
wig.
bathtub. What's that?
It's more than a
That's
little
what I
wig.
thought we were gonna get. But we got branded candles for each of our events.
Mhm.
So and then you were just everybody in that first event really built our confidence. They were laughing at our jokes. Dr. Courtney knew that they were, but I'm just like, when you do a show online, you don't know if
I know
people are
we're
really
funny.
resonating with your words. But I think you helped us be a little more official, and your kind spirit always it's always good to see you in the comments, because you're always so kind and so genuine. And I want to know how you transitioned from student to mother to nurse practitioner to business owner.
Entrepreneur, like
God. I'm long winded. So you need do I got 5 minutes or I
you
got 20?
probably got about 5. Let's
Okay. Okay. Well, dang, you got to tell. Look, I'm gonna cut it short. I'm gonna cut it short. This is fast. So, in 2020 during the pandemic, my guy friend and I, hey, we
not the
we were just talking about like business opportunities or whatever, and he has an MBA, and he was just talking about, oh, well, you need to start a business. You need to start a business. I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to start a business for so long. I want to have this and I want to have that. I just started talking about all of the things that I wanted to do. I'm gonna give you 48 hours to come up with something. And so I was like, okay, cool. So, that night I kind of like walked around, and I think I have this on my website. I walked around, and I was like, oh, this candle. I just kept seeing like candles, like different candles from different companies. And people will always give me candles. I just love them to death. I was a huge Bath and Body Works fan, but I realized that when I burned the candles, I would always get swollen in the face. It was like my eyes would get really, really, really puffy. I would kind of be like congested a little bit. And it just felt weird. I was like, oh, well, burn this candle. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm like, something ain't right, but I'm gonna still burn this candle. As soon as I blow the candle out, close the door where the room with the candle was in, I was fine. So, anywho, I started just researching. I was like, let me research candle businesses or whatever. And I found that candle businesses was like a 3.5, it was either million or billion. It was one of them illions. It was in the either the
It was
E or
an
the B.
alien. Yeah.
It was an illion. And I said, okay. I said, so I started just researching stuff. And I reached out to a lady that was in Houston who's very well known. I won't say a name, but very well known, to try to get some experience, go to candle making class. I ain't like the vibe. I ain't like it. Wasn't accepting at all. And I'm gonna be
Hmm.
real. It is what it is. So I just ordered me. I called him and I was like, "This is what I want to do." And so I started telling him, I was like, "Yeah, I reached out to this lady, blah blah blah." And I said, "She charged such 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 such." He said, "What?" He said, "No, we gonna figure this out." So I ordered a kit. It gives you like 7 or 8. I think it was 8 ounce tins. The wax, the some fragrance oil, some wicks or whatever. Give you all of that stuff to start with. So I ordered that. He bought me this workstation, I call it. And I set up in my living room. I moved everything out of the way, set up in my living room. I just started practicing. I started watching videos and stuff online. And that's actually how I started. It was really because of him. I reached out to my sister, um, Tianka.
Hey, Tiana. Oh, yes.
um, it was my sister Tianka, my best friend, and it was a couple other people that I was like, hey, I'm thinking about starting this candle business, blah, 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 blah. So Tianka and my sister actually have been two of my biggest supporters outside of him.
Hmm.
And I like a lot of my candle names came from either my sister or Tianka. There's a couple other people who contributed to the naming of my candles, but like I have so many different lines. I ended up having like a Greek line. I had a melanin line. The melanin line is the bomb, okay?
Hmm.
But I had so many different lines, but I was like, what? I got so much. I'm pouring so much into the business and I'm not seeing the profit yet. So I had to kind of slow down on the different lines. But anyway, to make a long story short, that's kind of how I got into it, is just having that conversation with somebody who believed in a dream that I had, to just become an entrepreneur. I wanted to start small and then kind of go to the next level
Yeah. Yeah.
of being an entrepreneur. So just trying to balance everything initially and then, move into the next steps. Or
Well,
moving.
you had it all along. It just took someone to push you and actually put a timeline on it.
Right.
Like they
Right.
gave you 48 hours, which forced you to make a move, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it was
Mm-hmm.
always there because
Mm-hmm.
48 hours is not a lot of time. Had you not had anything, 48 hours comes and go, you still ain't got nothing. But you
Right.
had something. Something
Right.
was already there.
Yeah.
So
So I gather that with your candles, your face doesn't swell and you don't get congested. Tell us what makes your candles different?
So I use soy wax. I use all soy products. I don't add any of the additives. The only thing that I may add every now and then is a dye. Um, I just use fragrance oil and soy wax, and I use they're called Eco Wicks. So the Eco Wicks is supposed to be more environmental friendly as well,
mhm.
and the fragrance oils, I try to make sure that it's not anything too crazy. I do a lot of mixing. I mix my own stuff. And y'all can tell based on the 3 different candles that y'all got, it's been a different chocolate smell every time. So I try
Oh
to
my
switch it
goodness.
up, but I try to keep it to where it's friendly for anybody. And I think I did when I opened up my business, I had a virtual lunch because it was during the pandemic. And one of the questions that was asked to me by one of our sorors who um, she had just been diagnosed with breast cancer, had
Mhm.
just went through her chemo and all of that. She asked me, she said, well, I love candles. She said, how is is this friendly for me? And I said,
Mhm.
absolutely, because I had done my research. And she's also one of the people who done a lot of research on the soy candles, and how the paraffin versus the soy versus the coconut versus all of these different types of waxes
Hmm.
can affect you, um just in general, can affect your health, because it depends on how you treat your candles, how do you care for your candles. A lot of that,
I don't even want to burn it. I could just sit it out and you smell it. I
right.
told you
No,
I
it's
line them
very
all up like
potent.
they're just pretty. And so
Yeah.
you walk into a room and I still smell the candle. Like I don't have to burn it.
Well, I
Yeah.
told you, it's a lot
Intoxicating.
where that comes from. So you don't have to. I can make you another one,
I
just
know.
just like that. I can actually make you a bigger one if you like.
Ooh, a 3 wick?
Girl, don't play with me. I got one sitting right here waiting on you.
Oh wow. Oh.
This is a 3 week.
Oh.
This
Oh,
is actually my breast cancer month candle, though. I make
oh,
one
that's
every month for
wonderful.
breast cancer, and try to make sure that I give back to the community. And one of the things that you mentioned that I want to make sure that I mention
Hmm.
is, you said I support a lot of people. So the reason why that I even came up with this business is because I wanted to be able to give back. I wanted to be able to provide funds for different nonprofit organizations, um, kidpreneurs. I have a couple of programs that I'm trying to bring out under the 6 Cent Candle Shop name. One of them is a Smells Good campaign, and what I do with that is I try to collect funds, or I might have a sale or whatever, where some of those proceeds will go to foster care agencies. So I'll buy certain hygiene products to give to foster care agencies, and I've done this for my birthday for many years. I always tell people, don't bring me a gift, bring me something that I can donate to a foster care agency.
I love it.
Oh
And so
wow.
for my 40th birthday, I did that. And so I said, oh, well, since I started this, which was 2020. So when I started the business a couple of months later, that was one of my passions, was to be able to start this business, to be able to give back, not
Hmm.
necessarily to get rich off of it. Now, do I want to get some money? Of course,
Hello.
but I want to be able to provide for other people. I want to help other organizations. I want to help Three Friends Talk. I want to be able to put something in your swag bag that make people say, "Oh, this is nice. I'm going to go back next year because I know I'm going to
Mhm.
get one of them candles that." Or, I have donated to I donate to an organization of some type every month. I'll give
Wow.
every single month. So the small ones, y'all get the big ones. We ain't gonna tell nobody that.
Okay. Okay.
But the smaller ones, I typically will give to different type of organizations. One of the organizations that I donated to this month was Earlier Detection Inc. And it's one of my girlfriends from high school who got diagnosed with breast cancer. She went through all of her treatment, and she had a brunch, and I said, "Hey, I want to provide something for your event." and and actually, the breast cancer candles that I have for this month, partial of the proceeds are going to her organization. So
I love
I
Thank
it.
don't
you,
I don't
Shanice.
make the candles to pocket the money, because me, as a nurse practitioner in this state of Texas, I make really good money. It's just that I want to be able to take care of my kids, and then I still want to be able to help people. So that's really the reason why I started my business, not so I can become rich. Um, I just want to be able to help people, and I want to be able to help
Oh,
people. I'm sorry, help people in a
you
way that if I pass away, they will remember me for something. I'll be remembered for she was always there. She always wanted to help people. So I just want to be able to build from this smaller this smaller business, and just make it something that I will always be able to help people.
Shanice,
So
the people will know your name, ma'am. They will
they
know your
already
name.
know your name. They
I just
already
feel
know
like I
your
talk so
name.
much
They,
that y'all
oh
missed
my
it.
gosh. No, this has been so amazing. I've learned so much more about you as long as I've known you. I've learned so many new things about you tonight. I feel like it's bringing us even closer. And I just want to make sure that we collaborate so much more in the future. I want to see
Yeah.
your business go reach higher heights of where you want it to go. You deserve it. I want to give you your flowers for being the person that you are. I really, you don't come across a lot of people like you, Shanice. And I want to say that you are amazing. What did they say? Awesome. What they used to tell your mom? That's you. You're
Right.
amazing.
Got some big shoes to fill.
You have filled them and then some. Just know that. You just know that you have. You've touched a lot of people's lives. You've touched my life. You always, like I said, you were my first friend
Mhm.
in Atlanta, and I'll always love you for bringing me in to my home.
I
So
will say, Dr. Courtney is not protective about too many people, but when it comes to Shanice, baby, she she treats you well, you know.
Right.
Yeah. And
yeah,
we
they
see
know
why.
I'm very selective of who I take care of.
You
Yes.
got
Right.
Dr. Leah ugly crying.
Right. Well, me too.
Um
Oh,
I look. I
well,
have to
no.
look at myself in this. Be like, okay, extend your neck.
Well,
oh
look,
my
real
gosh.
quick. Tell everybody if they want to get one of your candles, Shanice. Though, how can they order one?
So I'm on Instagram and Facebook. If you can see my screen name is 6 Cents Candle Shop. And then on Instagram is at 6 Cents Candle Shop. And then it's an underscore because somebody copied my name. And then my website is www.6centscandleshop.com.
Thank you. I'm gonna get Leah to put all of that in the chat for
Okay.
sure. And I know we could go on and on. We're not gonna hold the people that long. We want to thank you for coming on. I
And
mean,
being our first guest for season 4.
season
One
4
on one.
opener.
That 101 is going to be special. And I do want to anybody that's listening that ends up, listening in the future to this episode, I will offer a 3 friends discount.
No,
Um I
thank
will put
you.
it will be 3 friends 15, so you'll get a 15% off of your entire purchase. Um and
Three
it
friends, 15. Leah, put that in the
Three
chat.
friends 15.
Okay.
And I
All
will
right.
it will be live tomorrow, and you could put it look you could put it in as long as it worked. That's how long you can get the discount.
When it's over, it's over.
Right, when it's over,
Use
it's
it
over.
now.
I mean, hey, I can,
That's
I
so
it could be,
generous.
it could be. Look, it depends on when I update my website because I am a one woman show. Okay,
That's
so
what I was about to
just to
say,
let you know.
Shanice. It's time to build a team. Because let me tell you, when I look at Shanice's stories, it's got 100 little candles on the thing, and she's just going in her little assembly line. I'm like, is somebody helping her? What is
Mm-mm.
it? She is a one woman show, y'all. So you go and support
Handmade,
Shanice.
handcrafted, crafted with love
All the special
and with
touches. She
purpose.
gave us little notes. I got Sylvia's little notes. She even put
Oh,
little
what
notes.
my notes say? What my notes
Okay,
say?
let me see. Let me see
I'm gonna
real
have to
quick.
see who. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna go get the one I have. We
Uh-oh,
all the same
Sylvia, you're
person.
leaving. Okay. Well, it says congratulations on your 100th episode of Three Friends Talk. I truly enjoyed the podcast and learning about you and your journey and love the connection between you, Courtney, and Leah. No, you three continue to inspire me. Oh, Shanice.
Girl, don't
Beautiful.
mess up your makeup. Don't mess up
Oh, I'm natural
your
today,
I
girl.
was gonna say your
Skin is,
natural makeup. I
yes,
like
the
to put a
skin,
little bit under my eyes. Cause look, see, now I gotta wipe
my
my
skin
eyes.
is
Y'all got me
glowing today.
crying.
Mm,
I don't think I got. I don't. Leah got yours.
okay, you
But
got
thank
Leah?
you for that beautiful note. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
I
got
don't.
it.
I don't know where
We
mine
look, let me
is.
tell y'all, we were so excited. We all grabbed our candles, and it just so happened that we kind of mixed them up. And I think we just went for it. By the time we got home, we were like, oh, she put special notes in them. So, and that just goes to show you, we didn't think anything of it. We thought Shanice had just given us our own candle, but the special touches like this, that she went the extra mile. She goes over and beyond. Like, Shanice, you are just too much. And I love it. Don't ever change. I know you won't, but
I'm not.
just don't
I'm not.
ever.
Yeah.
It's
Shanice,
beautiful.
thank you for pouring into us. Thank you for pouring love into your candles. I haven't known you long, but I recognize that you are a special person and that you light up every path that you walk on. Never change. Thank you for sharing your story with us tonight. and Three Friends Talk and Shanice 6 Candle Shop, we go together. So thank you for the
Real bad.
special
Real bad.
real bad. Thank you for the special discount. And we got to get this collab going for real. We got to get up and talking
Absolutely.
about that again. So maybe something
Absolutely.
special coming real soon.
Mhm.
Well, I think that's a wrap for our
That's a
first
wrap for
show.
tonight. I think we did it. Season 4, episode 1. It's a wrap. So we will see you guys again next week. We have another special super friend that'll be joining us. We'll share more of things to come for season 4. So tune in next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Facebook Live.
Make
And
sure you're
Bye,
subscribed to us on all our social media platforms and to our newsletter. And that if you haven't given us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform, do it now. Do it now. But we're
like,
excited. Lots
subscribe,
of great things
download.
coming. And we love you guys.
y'all.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me. I love
Talk to you
Thank
you.
you.
soon. Bye, friends.
Bye,
Bye,
friends.
friends.